Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to This Week in Bitcoin. We are back on that like button. Oh, yeah. Golden hold, all that stuff. Today is October the 20th, 2017. I'm coming from Israel. I am enthused. We've got three very special guests here. Andy Hoffman in Colorado. Ty Zen is somewhere in the United States. And introducing, well, some of you know him, Daniel from Israel. He's walking the streets of Tel Aviv. He's going to be inside pretty soon. So today has been a very exciting day. I was like out running. I didn't know what was going on. I come back. I'm like, Andy, you want to be on the show? It's going down, man. He's like, of course. It's the $6,000 Bitcoin show. I'm like, what the? How do you even know it hit $6,000? That's how far removed I try to be from looking at the price. But obviously, it's an Anti-FUD Friday. So let's start with Andy Hoffman. What is going on, Andy? What are your thoughts?
Well, actually, yeah, you got me just as I was getting off the phone from interviewing Joseph from CryptoHWWallet.com, a friend of your show and a friend of the whole crypto community, because people are going to really need to understand storage wallets soon, now that the value of these cryptos are going up so much. And I think, generally speaking, it's a great day of validation as the world, as we hit a $100 billion market cap, thus making Bitcoin accessible to essentially every institution on the planet.
Yes, a happy day indeed. Ty Zen, you've been outspoken about Bitcoin lately. Do you find joy in today's news?
No, I don't find it. Hey, listen, man. I have always been a big fan of Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to succeed. And I only have like 1 or 2 Bitcoins right now in my portfolio, but I still want Bitcoin to succeed, even if I didn't have any, because that is good for the entire crypto community. All right. That is good for the entire crypto community. So because of that, I always want Bitcoin to succeed. If the higher the price of Bitcoin goes, right, the better it is for the community, the better that, there's news, there's media, there's attention, right? All these naysayers can't say shit about Bitcoin anymore, right? Because now, it's like one of the most profitable asset, one of the most profitable assets compared to like traditional stocks, options, Forex, futures, gold, and things like that. So I'm happy for it. I want Bitcoin. Out of all the cryptocurrencies on the market, out of the 1,000+ cryptocurrencies on the market right now, the cryptocurrency that has the best chance to become a household name and gain mainstream adoption is Bitcoin. That's why I want Bitcoin to succeed. Okay? The things that I speak out against Bitcoin are the bullshit coins that come out from it, right? I believe it causes confusion to the public and to people that come into Bitcoin. That's why I don't like it, right? I want Bitcoin to be Bitcoin. I don't want all these other baby Bitcoins coming out, because nothing kills mainstream adoption faster than confusion. That's my thoughts.
And we are going to talk about those crypto dividends very soon.
Can I add to that, Adam?
Yes, please, Andy.
Yeah, well, 2 things. One, I actually wrote an article today about how I want the altcoin community to succeed. I think it's great just like Bitcoin is good for alts, alts are good for Bitcoin, because the more attention to the space and the more capital in the space, the more legitimate it becomes. But I would disagree that baby Bitcoins cause confusion. This was what we were worried about. It was the Big Bang moment, August 1st. What would happen when a baby Bitcoin was born? And what we have learned since is that it does nothing. In fact, it strengthens the Bitcoin network by validating how strong it is and how weak those altcoins are. So I think, Bcash and soon to be SegWit2x are only helping make the network stronger.
Yes, we're going to get into this discussion, I'm sure, because we all 4 have, well, some of us have similar opinions on this. I want to remind all of my guests and everyone out there that YouTube has been madly demonetizing all of the YouTube Bitcoin producers out there for no reason. They say it's all not advertiser friendly. Every day I have a new video, they're like, it's not advertiser friendly. I don't curse. So remember, my guest, we can't curse today either, because then they will say there is a reason why we have been demonetizing. So I wanted to throw that out there. A little bit of news in the Bitcoin space is that a lot of us are it's very strange what YouTube is doing. I don't know why they're hitting up the Bitcoin people, but I wanted to toss that out there. And remember, guys, and this is a family show. Well, from me, I usually don't care when my guests.
My apologies. My apologies.
I forgot to say it beforehand. Have you noticed this on your channel at all? These
yes, we they are demonetizing my channels, and even my Vietnamese channel. I have a personal development, self-help, Vietnamese channel. It's like the most popular channel in Vietnamese for self-help. And they started demonetizing like a bunch of my videos, and it's in Vietnamese.
I don't know.
It's in Vietnamese. You know?
I think they have some automatic detection service that is not very efficient. All right, so I want to toss that out there, but let's get back on the subject. Daniel, our very special guest from Israel, a man that I've hung out with. Dude, you are a big fan of Bitcoin. You don't like altcoins very much, but tell us.
I'm a big fan of Bitcoin, but I think the more forks, the merrier. The forks are not taking any value from Bitcoin. Actually, they give value to Bitcoin because they teach the public that you fork it and okay, nothing happens. It is stronger than people trying to fork it, whether if they have good intentions or they have malicious intentions. Bitcoin can handle everything.
Yeah, I'm on that wavelength with you there, definitely. And Ty's going to have a rebuttal in a second. But I want to ask you, what people are very curious about Israel and Bitcoin. Israel is a technological hub, and I have noticed Bitcoin. Obviously, I know some Bitcoin guys in Israel now. They're cool dudes. I'm going to be hanging out at the Tel Aviv embassy, Bitcoin embassy, hopefully on Sunday. What's the story with Bitcoin and Israel? Do you think it's special? What insight do you have, if any?
Well, I think Bitcoin and Israel are natural to connect. Israelis are very tech savvy people, and we are very connected to all over the world because people have been spread all over the world. So we have many connections. So when something new emerges, we are aware of it. And Bitcoin is one of those new exciting things. Israelis adopted it very warm-heartedly. And I've been to many countries, and I looked at some Bitcoin communities, and you see Israel, which is a small country, has Bitcoin communities, has a Bitcoin community that matches the countries which have 10 times the population. And I'm glad. I feel lucky to be living here and in Tel Aviv, where the Bitcoin community is the largest, and we're happy to have you, Adam.
Well, it's to be here. And I want to also point out, you are a very young guy, but you've had Bitcoin longer. You were involved with the you got messed up with the Mt. Gox thing, right? Didn't you get goxed at one point?
Yeah, I got goxed. I even have the T-shirt to prove it if I can find it. Yeah, I have been goxed. It was a fun story because I was feeling the community were saying that Gox is not so well at about January 14th. And so I took the money out. And then the bad news actually came after the feelings were there. And after the bad news, after the bad situation, things started to feel like they're clearing out. So I put the money back in. I lost everything at Mt. Gox. The minute it was over, it was obvious that you're not going to get your money back. I asked myself, what's wrong? Is Bitcoin wrong? Is Bitcoin not working? Or the problem was at Mt. Gox? And I immediately bought in back again.
Yes. So you and
smart move. Smart move.
He is very smart, and you bounced back. You didn't let that kind of thing get you down. I did want to hear an update there, and I think people will be interested. Did they reimburse you eventually? Did you get the dollar amount back eventually in the settlement?
No, nobody got anything. Right now, the situation is that the Japanese lawyer, Kobayashi, is controlling all of Mt. Gox assets, and he is the one responsible to distribute what is left to the creditors. And he holds 202,000 Bitcoin at his, he controls it. And hopefully he will give it back to the to the creditors, and the creditors have claims for about 865,000 bitcoins. So if we get about 22% back, it will be nice. I also believe that about 95% of people will be in profit in dollar terms if that happens.
I want to add to that, Daniel, that I have some stuck in Mt. Gox too. So I got I got a nice chunk stuck at Mt. Gox. So
hey, brother.
Even if they give back just 20% of it, I'll still be happy.
I can throw in there too that, believe it or not, I actually had 1 Bitcoin at Mt. Gox because I was intrigued by the concept of Bitcoin back then. I didn't understand it or really believe in it, but it certainly, being a monetary guy, sounded like something up my alley. And the one thing I'll add to it is the customer service at Mt. Gox before it went under was not much different than what Coinbase was about 18 months ago. It was that bad.
But add, though, Andy, Coinbase has improved a lot.
Coinbase is vastly better than it was. 18 months ago, it was terrifying to use it. Now it's seamless. All right,
everybody listening, so we've got some veterans on here today. You don't hear about people who owned Bitcoin back in 2013 and 14.
If you have Bitcoin stuck on Mt. Gox still, you are definitely a veteran and what we call a crypto OG or a Bitcoin OG, an original gangster.
I mean, you got to give Daniel credit because you're a young dude, man, and so you've been in it since you were a super young dude, and it's a great start. If for any person getting into this space right now, you just look what happens. Look what can happen in 4 years. Back then, guys were buying Bitcoin for 200. Now it's 6,000. I just want everybody out there, pound that like button. If you like the veterans, you like the international flavor, bring to you on this channel.
How old are you, Daniel, when you bought your first Bitcoins?
I was 24 years old. I remember in 2013 when I talked to people who have been in this area since 2011, and I was like, man, there are 2 years now, 2011. And now people ask me when did I come to Bitcoin 18, and there are 2 years who got in 2000.
Again, and breaking up a little bit. I think you got to stand still or something like that.
You might want to cut the video.
Yeah, you might. Yeah. Well, hang on a second. Let's get back on. Well, Daniel fixes the technical difficulties over there. Bgold, the futures markets have opened. That Asian site I linked to below, what is it, BitStar? And then there's a Brazilian site. And the Bgold, it's, what was it, 0.03 Bitcoin it's worth? And yes. Again, this is futures market.
Yes, ultra thin trading, but yes, it's 0.03.
So people have been craving some sort of number, some sort of base. Now, again, if this stays the way if it stays around 0.03, by market cap, it'll be like the number 5 or number 6 cryptocurrency on the planet, which will lead a lot of other people to believe, like, dude, I got to start my altcoin this way. So, Ty, what do you think about this? You didn't get your rebuttal yet about.
No, I just think. I think that all these baby Bitcoins, they're stealing time, they're stealing resources, and they're stealing value away from Satoshi's Bitcoin. That's it. That's all they're doing. Go start another altcoin. You're forking Bitcoin, and all you're doing is you're stealing value, resource, attention, and time, and that destroys the value of Satoshi's Bitcoin, the original Bitcoin.
I don't think there's confusion. I don't think anyone can get confused about Bgold. You see, when it's a friendly fork, I don't think there's confusion. These unfriendly forks there could be confusion with the 2x. But again, there's just a lot of people out there that are just golden holders. They bought their Bitcoin. Now they're forgetting about it. So how can they even get confused? And it's unfortunate that some people out there are going out of their way to say Bcash is Bitcoin. But I mean, so a few people could get tricked into it, but this is a $6,000 asset. I mean, you got to do a little research before you buy it.
The thing is, though, go on, Ty, go.
It's a $6,000 asset today, but it should be way more than that. That $300 value that Bitcoin Cash has, that should not belong to Bitcoin Cash. That should belong to Satoshi's Bitcoin. That value shouldn't be over there, $300 diluted and split over there. It should be, Bitcoin is not at 6,000. It should be at 63, 6,400 right now. You know, and then all these other baby Bitcoins that's coming on, that value belongs to Bitcoin. Somebody else. If you had a bicycle, back when I was young and I grew up in the ghetto and in the projects, we were broke, we had no money, right? And we would run over to the young kids' neighborhoods and we'd steal their bicycles and things like that, or their basketball, right? That bicycle doesn't belong to us when we took it. It belongs to somebody else, some other kid. And when we took it, that value, that bicycle belonged to somebody else. Okay, that basketball, that football belonged to somebody else. It didn't belong to us. The value that Bitcoin Cash stole was to Bitcoin, not to Bitcoin Cash. And all these other people, you know. So that's just my thought.
I think it's built this way. The system is built in a way that you can fork it. If you can fork it, then Bitcoin, to withstand it. My expectation of Bitcoin is to be able to withstand anything, because it is a tool that is designed to carry your wealth. So it should be strong enough to hold 3 forks a day and 1,000 forks a day, and to show the world that nothing bad happens when it goes through that.
Yeah, 1,000 forks a day, the strength of Bitcoin. All right, Andy, what do you have to say? You've been trying to say something.
Could happen.
Yeah, I think that for one, there's so much money. Look, I wrote at Crypto Gold Central, one of the first things I wrote is trillions will enter the space, and probably half will go into Bitcoin. And the point is, there is so much of the legacy financial assets that are going to be, and will continue to leave to go to the space. There's more than enough to go around. And more importantly, it's not like, I mean, the fear of what these other Bitcoins would do was really before the forks happened. Bcash doesn't actually do anything. In fact, it gets more exposed each day for doing nothing except enriching miners. And as for SegWit2x, I don't know what it does. I'm not even sure why people think it would trade at 0.13 Bitcoins, because it's really kind of a worthless concept. And I really believe that all it's doing is making the Bitcoin network stronger. And frankly, it's kind of the, hey, any publicity is good publicity. It's just drawing more and more people into a space that's growing larger and larger.
I want to ask Tizen a question, because Tizen's he's a personality out there. People know the Tizen, baby. And so people are wondering, your stance against these forks, it seems like you're very pro-Bitcoin, but at the same time, you're kind of angry at Bitcoin. What coins are you into now? What's going on?
No. It has not changed. It has not changed.
You only own 2 Bitcoin. You said you only own 2 Bitcoin now. You only own
because I come from a cryptocurrency investing channel. So we're here to make money, right? And we make money. The reason why we want Bitcoin to be the dominant Bitcoin and not all these baby Bitcoins is because that gives value to all the altcoins that we trade. Okay, so there is an incentive there is a reason why I want Bitcoin to succeed, right? Because that is a better value for all the altcoins out there. Okay, we trade altcoins. We're here to make money. So it doesn't matter which coin we trade, but we just don't believe that confusion is good for the overall community.
Okay, so you believe that Bitcoin is a true Bitcoin. There was a time you were talking about Bcash. You had a whole series of shows on Bcash, I thought.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we did talk about Bcash, right? Because that was a contentious fork, and we had to explain. We traded. I mean, our team got in when it was at 300, and we rode it all the way to 1,000. So we're here to make money. So if there's an opportunity, right? If there's an opportunity to make money in it, even if it's in the short term, we are going to jump on it. We're traders, right? But for the long-term overall scope of the crypto community, right, we don't want confusion in there. And we don't want people to be hurt. Going into your wallet and trying to separate your Bitcoin Cash and all these baby Bitcoins from the original Satoshi Bitcoin, that is not an easy task for beginners. If someone loses their Bitcoins, I don't want that. I don't want people going in there trying to separate their baby Bitcoins from the original Satoshi Bitcoin and screw it up and mess it up and lose it. That is not good for the community. That's not good, right? So that's the reason why I speak out, against these things. However, that doesn't prevent me from trying to make money off of it. Just because I make money off of something, that doesn't mean that, you know, I have to support it. Right?
You've clarified your stance. I want to say one thing. So, remember, Adam Meister is the buy and hold guy, but he has guests that talk about trading. I do not encourage trading. I encourage buy and hold. To toss that out there. Was someone about to say something? Did I interrupt someone? Okay. Daniel, I wanted to ask you. You are not an altcoin fan. Are there any? Give us your perspective on altcoins, I guess. And is this a prevailing thing in Israel, or is there an altcoin in Israel that people are high on, like Zcash or something like that?
Yeah, Israelis love Zcash for some reason, and my perspective is that altcoins are a seasonal fun. Sometimes there is an altcoin season, and then you can join in the fun, but when the season is over, people are left with broken dreams. And if you don't play it seasonally, or if you get addicted, or if you see the gains and you change your mind and say, "Oh, this is gonna go up forever," then you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, I would say altcoin. People don't get the long-term theory on Bitcoin is a long-term asset. Over the long run, Bitcoin's going to do a lot better than holding Zcash until the year 2030 or something like that. I'm pretty sure. There was a little bit of
you might be right. Yeah, most chances you are, but Zcash is truly an interesting alt. It is truly something that brings new technology and a real value proposition. No, unlike other altcoins, which just try to make a get-rich-quick scheme for a few people.
I wanted to add to all the viewers out there, the links to all these guys are going to be below. I didn't have time to do this. If you're watching this live, they're not there yet, but I'm going to add. So always check out the links section below. We got important links to the past shows. Again, yesterday's Bgold show was very interesting. Daniel, what do you plan to do with your Bgold crypto dividend when you get it? What do you plan to do with that?
Well, I just came from a 3 weeks vacation, and I haven't decided yet. I need to read into it and study the matter. And so I will ask you. I think you are more well versed in this Bgold thing.
Well, let me tell you. There was a poll taken on my Twitter. Everybody follow me at TechBalt. TECHBALT. There have been some great updates this last 24 hours that I've been sending out about the futures market and everything. But the poll, 40% of the people said they're going to sell their Bgold as soon as possible. 18% said they're going to sell most and hold some. 12% said they're going to hold most of it and sell some. And then 30% of the people said they were just going to hold the Bgold. Now, I thought the poll results would be like 80% of people would want to dump it right away. So this was very surprising. Andy Hoffman, what do you think about this? What are you going to do?
Well, first I want to say, we happen to bring up Zcash kind of arbitrarily, but, I was listening to the World Crypto Network talking about Bgold, and they're saying it's essentially going to compete with Zcash, just like Segwit2x is going to compete with Bcash. And so a lot of these old coins that come out, people have to realize they're in a lot of ways going to cannibalize each other. And certainly, for instance, B2X and Bcash are going to cannibalize themselves and make Bitcoin stronger. So everyone has everything. They actually have purposes, whether they succeed or not. But in a lot of cases, they're going to be fighting with each other. Now, as for what I'm going to do with Bgold, look, I like the idea. I love the concept of we hate what Bitmain is doing, and we hate that there's no opportunity for the little guy. So it brings to mind, you say, well, is this going to be like, like the little Bitcoin for the poor, that kind of thing, not Litecoin silver to Bitcoin's gold, but kind of like, could it be successful in that people can do it? And look, if trillions of dollars are entering the space, I mean, maybe it can, I don't know, or maybe it'll lose to Zcash, or maybe it'll just be like Tezos, which is collapsing with $400 million in the bank. I mean, there's no way of knowing, but I can say that right before Bcash came out, I even wrote about it. I said, yeah, I'm going to hold my Bcash. That's great. I mean, it's a great hedge. against in case something's wrong with Bitcoin. And then, you know what, after a week, as soon as the trades are offered, I said, screw it, I'm selling it. And you know, so right now, yeah, I'll hold the Bgold. I'll wait to see if Trezor supports it. And then at some point, either it'll hit me to, I like this, I'll keep it, or screw it, I'm going to buy Bitcoin with it.
And do you have a price prediction now that 0.03 is out there? Do you have any thoughts on that? Or is it too early?
It's just so hard to tell because right, you know, we had a huge run in the alts this summer, but right now the Bitcoin dominance is really accelerating. I mean, Ethereum is breaking down, Bitcoin Cash. I don't know. Will it turn around? See, I was just tweeting yesterday. It'd say, when are we going to have an all-out .com mania when Wall Street says, I want to buy everything that's a crypto. I don't care what it is, because that's coming somewhere down the road. And for all I know, that road is 2018, and everything goes up again. But I don't know. So I really have no price prediction.
Yeah, let the day come about soon. That's what I want to say. One last question for you, Andy, and then we're going to get to Tizen. If it does do well, if it's 0.03 or 0.02, do you see a lot of other crypto dividends friendly forks coming down the pipeline?
I just see a diminishing return from them because you can only, I mean, because, you know, I don't like the term printing money when it comes to cryptos because it's a little different than that. But again, it's just diluting. You can only do it because, again, you need someone to buy them, right? Not just get them for free. And if you keep doing them, you know, actually what I think is more likely is you get all these, you know, the ICO market is being heavily regulated now. And so, yeah, the Bitcoin is a great way to create a coin and get around that ICO thing. But I have a feeling a lot of them are just not going to be supported by wallets because they can't deal with them all. It'll just be a way of doing forks, but not necessarily one that's all going to be a crypto dividend every time.
Now, Tizen, I know you don't like the baby Bitcoins, as it were, as you call them, but you'll have to admit that they're here. You're going to have to deal with it. What's your what's your strategy? Are you going to sell your Bgold, or what do you think?
No, I just leave it there. There's not even enough. Like I told you, I probably have less than 2 Bitcoins in my entire portfolio right now, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't even pay attention to it. The time that it takes me to go research how to split the Bgold from the Satoshi's original Bitcoin is not even worth my time. Worth my time.
But one thing though is, okay, so that's what you're going to do personally. But you do have, I mean, you've got a lot of followers that are they're going to get these things. They're going to get the 2x. They're going to get the Bgold. Are you going to have any advice for them? Like, because I mean, it is a critical thing here.
The thing I would do is that, you know, like if I had, let's just say that I had a sizable amount of Bgold, any of these baby Bitcoins, you know, it depends, you know, like, are you like, you know, like you talk about holding Bitcoin. I want to include this, right? Because you guys talk about holding Bitcoins for the long term. And you said, one of you guys, I think it was you, Adam, right, said that holding Bitcoin is more valuable and more profitable over a 5, 10, 20-year period versus holding Zcash or some other altcoin. And I agree with you. I will not disagree with you on that. If you are not a professional trader, if you don't know how to manage money and you don't know how to manage risk, you need to do what Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, is doing and pound that like button and hold on to your golden hold. You pound that like button and golden hold because you're not a professional trader. If you're a professional trader, you make money by movements in the markets. You want movement. You want as much movement. You want Bitcoin to go up to 10,000 and then crash back down to 5,000, go up to 20,000 and crash back down to 5,000. You want movement or else you can't make money, right? So you want that volatility as a trader. But if you're not a trader, then you want to do what Bitcoin Meister's doing and hold on to the best possible coin out there and just ride from it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what my belief is. If you don't know how to trade, then leave it alone. Let the professionals do that. You know. So, my advice is.
Tizen is on fire, man. You're on fire. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. You said you asked the question. What should people do with their baby Bitcoins when they get them? And my suggestion is this: if you are a professional trader, then you trade it just like any other coin. That's very simple. The professionals already know what to do with it. The people that don't know how to trade, the best thing to do, I would think, is just to hold on to it like you guys do.
I'm gonna ask you a question about trading, because I agree. I think you're a trader, but you're straight up honest, telling people not everyone's a trader. Of the people that we encounter on the internet, through social media, through whatever, there's so many guys out there, especially young guys, saying that they're traders. How many?
They're not. They're not.
Percentage wise, what do you think the percentages of these guys?
I think that 100% of the traders that have never been educated and trained properly all lose money. Like I invested almost $100,000 US to learn how to trade over a 10-year period. Okay, I invested almost $100,000 of my own money to learn how to trade over a 10-year period. Okay, so I've never invested $1 to learn how to trade professionally, and they think they're going to step into the trading arena with people like myself and people like the guys on our team. It's like stepping into the ring against Mike Tyson and thinking that you're going to win by accident. You're not. You know what I'm saying? And you ask
the truth. It's the harsh reality.
The question you ask is, how many of these traders that talk about cryptocurrency trading, how many of them actually, are real traders? The thing is this: if you look at the portfolio, right? If they start off with $1,000 and now they're a millionaire, it's hard for you to argue that they don't know how to make money in this huge bull market, right? However, if you take them out and you ask them, okay, let's pull you out of the crypto market and put you in the stock market or the futures market or the Forex market, and let me see you trade there, since you know how to be a trader, right? Let's see how many of them actually even know how to put in an order.
And
right?
So you're saying it's a matter of time before some of these guys are going to get.
It's a matter of time. When the bubble bursts and everything is done, you're going to see who is still broadcasting about trading and investing. And it'll still be us. We'll still be here. At that time, we'll be transitioning and talking to people about how to take their crypto profits and invest it in the futures market, the options market, the Forex market, and things like that. We'll still be here. And here's something else that you guys got to know. And I'll share this with your audience so they know who's bullshit and who's not. And sorry about my language. I forgot it was a PG-13. In America, guys, if you're not 18 years old, you cannot open up a trading account. So if somebody's on there telling you they know how to trade and they're under 18, they can't even open up a trading account in the US. By law, they have to get their parents to open up the account for them, right? So, but right there, right off the bat, you see some kid in his room that looks like he's 16 years old. How could he have made enough trades in the stock or the futures or Forex market to even have trading experience? Because he can't even open up an account by himself. So
I love this. I think this is a public service announcement that I couldn't say all this stuff better myself. Guys, you're not traders. The people who ask me the trading questions, be real careful. Just be real. Here's a guy who teaches it, who his whole channel is about that, and he's telling you you're not a trader. So some people just get into Bitcoin and then they think right away, like, I gotta be a trader. I don't know why that happens. I don't understand that. People just get bored with their Bitcoin. It's awesome, dudes. Holding an asset and watching it increase in value, let that be entertaining, because this trading stuff, you can really lose. And I see guys in the chat right now saying like, I lost money trading. I mean, this is serious business here, serious business. Sorry, it's Ty, if I interrupted you. Okay.
So I just wanted to share that with your audience, because I don't like to see the non-traders get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a trader, you are a professional trader, you've been trained, and you come in there and you lose money or something like that, I really don't care, because that's what you're doing. That's like a football player getting tackled or a boxer getting punched in the face. That's expected. I lose money, trading. That's expected. But when somebody that's a beginner that has never been educated in trading, and they come in and they think that they're just going to make money off of guys that have invested thousands of dollars to learn how to trade, I just don't see how that's possible. If they make money, it's just luck.
Andy, you have a lot of experience on Wall Street. Do you have anything to add to any of that?
Yeah, that you will lose. I mean, again, the word trading is a very vague thing. We talk about what Ty is doing. That's actual professional trading. But for most people that say they're traders, they're like, well, that one's going up. Let me buy that. Oh, that one plunged and I lost my money. Now I'll sell it. No, I mean, look, I've been on Wall Street my whole career, 3 decades, and you will lose. if you trade 99% of the time. It's that simple. Even the best traders lose most of the time. And I gave up on that a long time ago.
And this is another reason I tell people not to be too obsessed with the price, checking it like 20 times a day, because you're going to end up trying to sell it, trying to, you know, oh, it's going down or it's about to go up. And I mean, and I'm proud to say I did not know it was $6,000 today. I'm practicing what I preach here. I do not check that price. I hardly check it at all. So that's a way, if you're starting to get into this trading thing, but you don't know what you're doing, just don't check the price very much. Daniel, we've jumped all around here. Do you have anything to add? I mean, you can bring up anything now, man. Anything. What's going on with you? Uh-oh. there was a little, yeah, we're not getting your, Daniel, you hear us? All right. Yeah, I don't think you hear it. Daniel, you hear it, you man?
Hey, I just want to add this too for your audience so that they'll know, because you asked me earlier, you know, like how many of the people on YouTube are real traders, you know. I just want to share this story with you, your audience, so they'll know. So I went to the blockchain oil and gas conference in Houston just a few weeks ago in the city of Houston, which is located in the state of Texas. It's in the southern part of the United States for anyone that's outside the U.S., right? And one of these young kid from Consensus, right? We just had a little brief discussion there, you know, and he was talking about how the hedge funds were, you know, he said that, you know, the hedge funds are doing this, and I told him, I said, hey, you know, that's not true. You know, the reason why a lot of the hedge funds are not coming in yet, right? And when they come in, you'll know, because Bitcoin's going to be about $50,000 when they all start pouring in, and Ethereum will probably be about $10,000 or $20,000 also. And he said, yeah, they're in. I go, no, because it's a liquidity issue, you know, because hedge funds don't come in with $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. When they come in, they're coming in with 10,000, I mean, 10 million, 20 million, $50 million. And he was saying, this young kid was saying, oh, that's no big deal. Just go to the exchange and get it. And I was looking at him like, have you ever tried to buy $100,000 worth of ethers before? And he goes, it's no big deal. Just go to Coinbase or Kraken or one of these exchanges and get it. I said, dude, man, you're so far fetched from what real world trading is, you know? And he goes, what's the big deal? And I said, you can't go to the exchange, to Coinbase, and get $1 million worth of ethers, you numb nuts. You know, that's things that you do off the exchange. And when you hear people say stuff like that, you know, it's just retarded, you know? And these are the same people that's propagating this bullshit information, you know, to other people that don't know, you know? And that's why we started our channel to help correct some of those nonsense, you know? When somebody wants to buy $1 million worth of ethers, they do it off the exchange. You never see the volume. They do it with somebody else offline, you know what I mean, off the exchange. They don't do that on Coinbase. If they are, they're a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to say, Ty. You've noticed this as well. I mean, over the last 6 months, how many newbies out there are all of a sudden saying that they're preaching to everyone? I can't believe, and people believe these people because they're preaching this very fluffy, happy, like you're gonna become a billionaire type of thing, but there's no substance behind it. But so many people are getting into it. I mean, are following these like gurus who just popped out of nowhere. And I mean, I hope to God that the price keeps on going up. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm a long-term thinker, so it's not going to bother me that much because I know in 2020.
My personal belief is that if you don't know how to trade, you just hold Bitcoin. Like what you do, that if I didn't know how to trade, if I hadn't been educated by other professional traders, I would be doing the same thing that you're doing.
I wanted to say something before we get to Daniel real quick. You brought up the city of Houston. Tonight in the city of Houston, the Astros are playing the Yankees, and Andy Hoffman and I both very much hope that Houston can win the next 2 games. Now don't get distracted by sports, people, But what's going on in Major League Baseball is ridiculous now. The Yankees aren't even that good. This is a joke. All right, sorry, that was a 10.
Yeah, but they do have the new Mickey Mantle on their team.
No, but what I mean, they blow these guys out of proportion so much. Who knows what he'll be like next year? And you know what? The Orioles, my team, who stunk this year, if we didn't lose all those games to the Yankees in the first place, they wouldn't even be here. But no, we had to. It was horrible, disgraceful. All right, sorry. Tangent. Houston, you brought it up. Pound that like button if you like one. Everyone's got to have their little distraction in life, but don't get addicted to this stuff, people. Don't focus on Bitcoin. All right, Daniel, what do you have to say about life? What's going on?
Life's good. I've just came from the United States. I've been to Kentucky, Nevada, New York, California. And I've been at the poker table in Las Vegas. And something really weird happened. I lost all of my money. And now the ritual of going up from the table, going to the ATM, seemed to me a bit. I just turned to the guy on the left of me, and even though we didn't talk about Bitcoin at all, I asked him, "Do you wanna give me some chips, this and that amount for Bitcoin?" And he told me, "Yeah, sure." And for a moment there, it felt like it was the most mainstream money of the world.
5 years from now, people will be betting Bitcoin at Vegas.
So, I mean, you're saying a random man at the Las Vegas table knew what Bitcoin was. He was down with it.
Not only he knew what Bitcoin was, he was up to getting Bitcoin for some poker chips. Just from a random stranger guy at the table that has a funny accent. And what the thing is that when you do such a deal with a person in Las Vegas, which is not known for hosting the most honest people on earth, then you have to be able to recognize what you get, and this is the universality of Bitcoin.
Whoa, dude! I got to tell you, what you just said reinforces my point that the United States is the capital of Bitcoin. I think it's among regular people, it's well known, more so than in other countries, and that we're ahead of the curve here. I think that's what this shows. Because people try to people to other areas and glamorize them. But I've been to a lot of other areas. I think we're doing it here. What were you going to say?
I agree with you that Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoin users or investors or traders come more from the US. But the sad part is that the number of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency businesses and companies that are sprouting up are usually done outside the US because the guidelines are not very clear. Matter of fact, we did this. I'll be speaking at the Texas Bitcoin conference next week, next Saturday and Sunday. And we actually, we had hired a former SEC securities lawyer who's also a former Department of Justice federal prosecutor, to review everything that we do and say all our products and services that we offer, And we actually invited him to come speak at the conference, and he will be speaking there at the Texas Bitcoin conference next week to give some guidance on securities. What does the SEC consider a security? And from his former prosecutorial career, what they would prosecute as a security. So I'm really looking forward to that because that's like the first time that we have someone that is from the SEC, or not from the SEC, but a former senior attorney for the SEC and a former federal prosecutor discuss this so that the community can actually benefit from that. So I'm really excited about that.
I wish they didn't care so much. I wish it was easy. I wish that Silicon Valley already has it does have a lot of businesses sprouting up there. But if there was no regulation on it, oh my God, imagine what would be going on there. Andy, is there anything you wanted to add here? I skipped you, I think.
Well, I mean, the United States is the capital. Yes, we do have the Silicon Valley, but I think it's just more that we have the highest or among the highest per capita wealth. And the vast majority of people in America are investing as an investment, mostly buy and hold. But around the world, there's going to be a renaissance in imminently. I think probably the knowledge of Bitcoin around the world is just as strong, if not stronger than here, but the money here is larger. And so people learn very quickly what they own positions in. But I would think that 2018 is going to be a year where the entire world gets into the craze.
You know, Daniel brought up gambling in Las Vegas. I just want to add, people buying some of these ICOs and altcoins, it's really no different than what he was doing at the Las Vegas table.
I have to tell you that the casinos in Las Vegas were a much more warm and relaxed place than going into Poloniex or Bitrex or BitMEX, which is like after BitMEX is a casino on steroids. So the roulette or any other, the variance is so much lower on the roulette and on the slot machines. It's like the casino is like Poloniex for babies.
Hey, what Daniel said was so awesome that your audience needs to pound that like button right now. Pound that like button.
Well, it's gotten to the point over the years that, because again, you're exactly right. When I go to casino, I don't even want to do anything there because I feel so exhausted. First, it was mining stocks, and then .com stocks, and then gold, and now Bitcoin. I need a break, so casino would be a nice little break to go and just to spend a tiny bit of money,
Oh, this is an interesting perspective for the cryptocurrency crew, man. That going to a Vegas casino is relaxing.
We should do a cryptocurrency conference in Vegas, and then afterwards, everybody just relax at the casino, just like Daniel said.
Sounds good.
Hey, maybe we'll have Caesar's Palace sponsor the conference or something.
I will say that the D in Las Vegas, they were into Bitcoin for a while. I actually stayed at the D when I was forced to go to Vegas, because I do not like Vegas at all. Because
it's a valid point. I was just saying, if you couldn't hear before, that a couple of years from now, they'll be betting Bitcoin in Vegas. That's going to be their big new way of making money. So you bet that Caesar's Palace is going to be sponsoring. They may be sponsoring the Bitcoin Meister channel.
Hey, already there are more than 10 Bitcoin ATMs in Vegas.
I mean, it's a start. It's a start.
And they'll have big Bitcoin ATMs, like you could put in $10,000 or $100,000.
But in Vegas, there's a lot of it. Once that happens, when Vegas adopts Bitcoin, I mean, the ecosystem will have already. Bitcoin's going to be worth a lot by then, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't want that to happen for various reasons. I mean, the Raiders are going to be. I don't like the NFL, but the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas, and you're not going to even be able to bet on the Raiders when they're in Las Vegas. I mean, so there's all sorts of rules and regulations involving gambling. So adopting a Bitcoin for gambling makes a lot of sense. But because of the regulations we live under, I don't see it happening soon. I wish it would. But once it does happen, whoa, we'll be in a whole new world. It'll be amazing. All right, let's get some conclusionary remarks, because we got to wrap the show up. Daniel, what do you have to say? This is your point in the show. You can say anything you want to say about the Bitcoin in Israel, or anything about Zeke, about your stance on coins, anything you want to say. Conclusionary remarks.
I want to say that another issue that makes the United States an epicenter for cryptocurrencies is your heritage view on government-civilian relationship. The constant checks and balances you concentrate on. So Bitcoin gives more power to the civilians. So it has an appeal to many Americans from that direction.
Wow, that's it.
And other countries, other cultures don't look at governments that way. They take government more for granted.
There's some concluding remarks. Thank you for being on the show today, too, man. This is you're a great
giving me the opportunity.
You're a great new guest, man. You're gonna have to come back. I think people are gonna enjoy. We were laughing. That was some good stuff. Taizen, what are your conclusionary remarks?
My concluding remarks are this: that the rise in Bitcoins will continue to rise because I believe the rise right now is being caused by a lot of people that want to get into cryptocurrency investing, mainly to invest in altcoins. So they're buying up the Bitcoins, pushing the price of it up so that they can buy some altcoins with it. And I expect that the altcoins will lag behind. So after because it takes time, it takes, a couple months to get your account set up, and then it takes you time to transfer your money in, acquire the Bitcoins, and then move it over into the altcoin market. So I think there's going to be a delay. There's going to be a time when Bitcoin is going to slow down a little bit, and then the altcoin market is going to catch up to it because it's lagging behind. And the reason why I believe this is because when I used to train people and teach people back in the traditional stocks, options, forex, and futures market, right? All those, my colleagues, they all thought that, I was nuts trading Bitcoins back then, 4 or 5 years ago. And now, back when Bitcoins were $400 or $500, I was telling them to get into it and trade it, and they didn't want to. And now that Bitcoin's near $6,000, they're calling me and my phone's ringing off the hook from these folks calling me, asking me how to start trading it and how to get into it. And now that the people that missed out when Bitcoin was $400 or $500 and $600, and now they're jumping in at $5,000, $6,000. Back then they would have bought, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, but now they realize that it's real. They're putting in $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 into it. And we're talking about people in America. I don't know what it is in people in other countries. And I guess the best way to explain that is that back then they might have put pocket change into Bitcoins if they bought any back then. But because they've missed out on it during this whole run up all these years, now when they finally decide to get into it, they're not just going to put in a 1 week salary or 2 week salary. They're probably going to put in, 6 months or a year or 2 years worth of their salary into Bitcoins. And I believe that's the reason why it's causing the price of Bitcoin to shoot up.
Oh, that is hardcore conclusionary remarks from Tizen. Thank you for being on the show today. Andy Hoffman, you were the guy who told me that it hit 6,000 today. You got the final word. Perfect timing here too. So take it away, Andy Hoffman.
Yes, look, today, as I just tweeted, it became an official asset class when it became a $100 billion market cap. And what I've been expecting all along is that 2018 is going to make 2017 look unmemorable because of the amount of capital that's going to be flowing in the sector, partly because of the price rise itself, but also because of the year-end decisions that are going to be made in every Wall Street and Main Street boardroom about how we need to be in the sector. And of course, the SegWit activation means a whole new tech revolution is going to be built in Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency space. And of course, last but not least, the marketing effort. It will no longer just be poor quality YouTube videos and tweets. There's going to be some major marketing firms marketing to some of the wealthiest people in the world in 2018, which I'm really looking forward to. And last but not least, please, everyone, try CryptoGoldCentral.com. I am writing all day long and podcasting. Try a free 7-day trial. You will love it.
All right. I will link to everyone's pertinent links below also. I'm going to do it right after I get off the air, which is about in a minute. So everyone, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Please subscribe to the channel. Pound that like button and check out the links below. That was This Week in Bitcoin. It's great to have the Friday show back on. We'll be back next Friday. We'll still be in Israel. I'm exploring. I'll have more reports. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.
Pound that like button.
Pound, baby.